Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Physiology of Endurance Running podcast, Road to Valencia series. 3 weeks to go. We're nearly there, guys. We're nearly there. One more week of training. That's what I'm going through in my head. One more week of training, then we're there. Basically there. The taper doesn't count, does it?
Is it what they refer to as squeaky bum time?
Oh, maybe.
Getting a bit
Maybe.
close now. Every day Dave tells me all you can do is make wrong decisions. Nothing positive can come out of trying. Like, oh
That's
no.
not how you should. That's not how you should frame it. You should frame it as, if in doubt, just do less. If in doubt, do
Yeah.
less. If you're feeling tired, just you can drop. This is the time where you can just drop a rep, drop a set. If you can't be bored of those last 10 minutes of your run, don't do them. It's great.
I feel like that's too much of a tame approach for me, and I don't think it would quite sit. He's got to come in aggressive.
Yeah, that's not how Jen rolls.
And if she's given permission to do the max, she will do the max. That's how it works.
Yeah. Yeah.
How are we feeling? 3 weeks to go. How are we feeling?
Go on, Owain. How are you feeling?
Yeah, I think most of the training's done. I'll have a smaller session this week. Not a small session, but just a bit off. Just that 10 minutes off for me feels like a lot. And then, I don't know, I feel like a way easier long run. We'll probably feel crap during it, but in theory, a way easier long run. And then, we're there just trying to avoid ill people now. That's the game.
That is the
Yeah,
game.
literally.
That is the game.
I feel like I'm gonna have no skin left on my hands by the time I finish washing them after touching anything now. Getting my travel pack ready for the flight, masking myself up.
Amazon delivery, haven't we? We've seen Owain's
Yeah.
Amazon delivery.
That wasn't mine. That was one of my athletes. That was.
Right.
I
I thought it was yours. Okay, right.
No. Mine will look similar. I've already got the masks.
Yeah, I'm stocking up on masks. It's the thing. You put so much into it. I'm going to wear a mask on that flight after doing.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah.
How many weeks have we done? 12 weeks of training.
Yeah. Not messing it up on the flight.
No.
Yeah, I'll wear one. I'll probably even put it on before because I think we got ill from flying back from Italy before because it was really busy in Verona airport. So I'll probably as soon as it looks busy, just chuck the mask on.
Yeah, I think the airport's probably worse. Apparently, I remember Corey from the lab doing risk assessments for travel during COVID, and he had got into far too much detail and had been looking up the ventilation rates of the aeroplane versus just day to day in the shops, and the air is filtered so frequently that you're probably less likely to catch something on the plane versus the airport where you're literally not 200 people, 10,000 people.
Yeah. And a lot more surfaces that people have touched and not washed their hands.
I think on the plane, it's that you're locked into that seat, aren't you? So it's if you end up sat next to someone that's ill, then it's whereas in the airport, it's stagnant air, isn't it? So but no, we'll be masked up definitely. Trying to figure out if I can wear one at work, but it's probably a bit overboard.
You'll get a lot of questions.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. How are you doing, Dan? Dr. Dan?
Dr. Dan, I'm tired. I've got one more set. Recording Tuesday night. I've got one more session to go. In my head, I've got one more session to go, and I'm gonna have to psych myself up for it, I think.
It's getting to that point.
But the weather's looking good, so that's what I'm excited about after this week, which was a bit awful.
I've welcomed the cooler weather. The cold doesn't bother me. I much prefer that over the rain.
Yeah. Dry.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, although it was raining when I stepped out this morning. It was -1 and raining.
Oh, no,
I know.
That's not good.
I was like, I might turn around here and go work on the treadmill.
Yeah, didn't see that this morning, I'm afraid.
So before we get into our week, should we do a shout out for Saw? What have you got for us, Owain?
Yeah, so as we mentioned last time, our competition, there's only a couple of weeks. There's only a couple of weeks to Valencia, and there's only a couple of weeks for our giveaway. I would welcome £250 of Saw gear because I've been wearing all of mine at the moment in the cold weather. The tights, the merino base layer. I think you've got one of those, haven't you, Jen?
Yeah, that's so good. Yeah,
good.
And it has the little thumb pocket, the thumb hop. I know that's such a niche thing, but I love it. I don't know why.
I really like that even if I get a bit too warm in it, it dries so quick. So like if you're doing something straight after the run where you're not necessarily able to change straight away, it's a
My
really good
dad,
layer.
my dad is obsessed with merino wool. He goes through these phases of like being obsessed with something. It's merino wool. So you'd have like merino wool socks, merino wool like base layers, just everything. He's like, oh yeah, you got to
Love
get
it.
this. It's the best.
Man
It's the
knows what he
best.
wants.
Yeah.
You also had a very good Saw jacket on the weekend as well. You were a walking advert for Saw.
Oh, me? Yeah, me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Sorry, I
you.
threw two. I
Yeah.
mean,
No.
Dan's jacket is good. No, yeah, I had my tempo jacket on as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that was good. That was good post. Well, I wore it for the warm up as well, and then
Yeah.
yeah, no, that's really good. I really like that. It's that's definitely. I think we've mentioned the designer videos on Saw before, and like actually the tempo jacket is like the one to watch because you look at it and you're like, oh, this is. I remember when I got it, I was like, this is interesting because it's not waterproof. Like it's a bit water resistant, but then I went. That was when I went and watched the videos, and I was like, okay, this completely makes sense now. Like why this exists, and I think that's definitely a reason to go and watch. If you're like, oh, why do you're scrolling through Saw as you do, and you're like, oh, why does this thing exist? Go watch the designer journal video thing, with Tim, and you can see why they've designed something, how it's evolved. Yeah, definitely worth a look. But no, that was good. Yeah, good for the warm up. Yeah, with our competition, yeah, closes on the 7th of December. Just need to enter your email. So probably about the lowest barrier to entry possible. Yeah, go check it out. Yeah, closes on the 7th. So that's the day of Valencia, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, day of Valencia. So if you're watching Valencia, like you need to have entered. You'll see Dan on the stream in the 20930 group and yeah,
Don't
enter
say
our
it.
competition. Yeah, thank you. So we've definitely been making the most of that gear the last few days, I think.
Absolutely. Yeah. 100%.
Should we get into some training?
Yeah. Come on, then, Jen. Let's kick
Go on
us
then.
off.
Shall I kick you off?
It's
Right.
on
So
10th
this
of
started
November.
10th of November. So what did I do on the Sunday? So we did the long run together on the Sunday, which was 90. It was 90 minutes of some form of build, starting at like 350 down to 330 per k. Hang on, I'm going to put my stats into kilometers so it makes sense for everybody else. So yeah, that was Sunday. So Monday morning started with a 75-minute easy run. I've got my Monday loop that I'm enjoying at the moment that avoids the Taff Trail at all costs. So I went on that. It goes down the Ely Trail, so it has a little bit of like sort of what I like to call packed gravel paths, but I'm sure it's just concrete underneath them. So I don't know how much softer it actually is, but
That's only about 10% of that loop is.
Yeah, but I really enjoy that bit, running, I was doing it the other day and I said to Dave, it's like you're in the countryside, but you're not, as we've got like the main A road, like right to our left. But yeah, so this is a 75-minute run, just over 16 kilometers. And as normal, I usually feel all right on the Monday morning after a long run. So yeah, popping along. Pretty decent. I think I must have been listening to a podcast because that's all I've consumed on my runs for the last like however many weeks, but I couldn't tell you what it is. And then I went out again in the afternoon for 47-minute double. We've got this new evening run loop now, which is like the perfect sort of, it's meant to be around 45-minute run. It's about 6 miles, and it goes over to Victoria Park. And you just do a lap of that and then run home again. So it's pretty good actually, because the roads are quite quiet once you get like past sort of the big Tesco and the Western Way. It's got a little bit of elevation in it, but yeah, it seems to go pretty quick. So that was Monday night. Another 47 minutes for must be like, what is it, like a 26-kilometer day. So take that. There's a theme this week with all my easy days. Tuesday also started with a 75-minute easy run. This run, Dave literally like 2 minutes after me said to me he didn't want to run with me. He wanted a podcast run. I was like, fine, whatever. That's really nasty, but I'll crack on with it. Had no idea where he was going. He had no idea where I was going to go. We ended up crossing paths at about halfway, like up towards Rada. So he had to suffer and run with me for the second half of his run, which he hated. we bumped into Dan in the park. He was warming up for his session. So we did, must have been about 50 meters with you. I could tell you were quite like anxious that day, or you were like wanting to get started because you were like, you were pushing the pace even on your warm up.
We'll get to that, but I was pissed off. I was pissed off.
We ran into an angry Dan.
And you half step Jen.
Yeah, I was getting half step. Yeah, I was being left in the dust, and I was trying. But 75 minutes in the morning, finished up with 5 very slow strides. I wrote. I just felt like a donkey running these. They're horrendous. But I'm determined to keep in strides once a week. So got them done on the Tuesday morning, and then went out again in the evening for another 46-minute run. That Tuesday night, I don't know if you guys, well, you must have been out in it. It was horrendous, the weather. It was like absolutely peeing it down, like windy, awful, really.
Yeah.
It was like,
yeah, it was bad. Yeah.
Disgusting. I think that my Strava title literally just says disgusting.
I was on my treadmill that evening from memory, I think. I was not going out.
I also bumped into a James Thee in the wild doing some sort of reps around Rofe Lake as well. So that was fun. Always, makes it more enjoyable when you have something to keep you entertained for your run. So that was Tuesday night. And then Wednesday morning, had a session. I was like, the first time I didn't argue with Dave at all over anything. I got up and I felt a bit tired. So I was like, right, whatever. I'm just going to do what I'm told today. I'm not even going to bother, trying to get my own way. He wrote it out on a Post-it note for me so that I didn't do it wrong. And basically it was 24 minutes, 18 minutes, 12 minutes, 6 minutes, 3 minutes, all off a 3-minute float. And the goal was to start at around LT1, and then the directions were to get faster but not silly. And then he drew me a little angry emoji face on the sticky note with the floats being at 4 minutes a K. So I started off with the 24-minute rep, running 3:40 a K, and I went like out up the Taff for this, and did part of our Sunday long run route where we kind of go around Gabalfa, do like the roads, and then kind of weave my way back into Butte Park because I just couldn't face like an additional 24 minutes of just doing the mile loop. So yeah, first 24 minutes 3:40 a K, then into a 3-minute float at 3:58, then 18 minutes at 3:34 a K, which I'm hoping will be marathon pace or thereabouts. Then a 3-minute float at 3:58 a K. Then I did a 12 minutes at 3:25 a K, 3-minute float at 3:55, 6 minutes at 3:19, 3-minute float at 3:56, and then 3 minutes at 3:14s. And yeah, the goal of this session was to start at LT1 and then kind of move through my threshold zones. So LT1, marathon pace, LT2, just on the cusp of LT2, and then basically as fast as I could hammer it for the last rep. And this went like surprisingly better than I thought it was going to. I kind of thought like I'd really struggle to like bridge the gap between sort of like LT1 and then LT2. But every time I like did the float and went on to the next kind of area of intensity, it came really naturally. So I was really pleased with that. And like for each rep, my heart rate was pretty stable, kind of where I would expect it to be. And then kind of recovered back to sort of like, it would like touch the kind of LT1 heart rate in the float. And then obviously like the faster I got, the higher it went. But yeah, I was chuffed with this, to be honest. And I felt really strong, even towards the end. So I ended up averaging 21k at 3:36 a k. This is like a really niche insight, but every single Wednesday session I've done in this marathon block, regardless of what it's been, the pace is always averaged out at between like 3:35 and 3:39 a k, and my average heart rate has been 177 for every single session.
That's pretty good.
I just can't get my head around that. Like, has Dave planned for that to happen, or is that just happened? Because I just don't understand.
Yeah, I guess if you're just dividing up an amount of work and then you're going to have a similar amount of recovery,
yeah,
it's going to come in the same ballpark.
Similar ballpark. So I feel like that's the sort of heart rate I'm going to be looking at for the marathon. There or thereabouts would make total sense.
It's nice with these sessions where you're reducing the rep length and like also able to increase the pace a bit, that then you increase the heart rate and the effort, like that, then the pace reflects that as well, because I think sometimes you do them and it doesn't, like you're just the same pace, and it's not a bad session, but it's nice, like it's definitely a good sign when the pace increases, where like if it stays the same, it's like it's a decent session, but like that's just part of training, I think.
Definitely. And I had like I so vividly remember like a session, it must have been like 6 or 7 weeks ago now, where it wasn't like this, but it was in terms of like the pace was meant to get quicker, and I had jog recoveries on that, and I just couldn't increase the pace. It felt horrendous. And I think as time's gone on, I've definitely got like aerobically a lot stronger, and I don't think if that hadn't have been the case, I don't think I'd be able to manage a session like this the way I have done, in terms of really being able to like make a distinct change in that pace and that intensity throughout, and having scope to do it as well, like being able to recover, being able to still push my heart rate up high. I got it up to 191, which like I think if I was like too fatigued or too much in an oven, I wouldn't be able to do that. So it was nice to kind of have that confirmation as well, and kind of put that all together, because it's like as the sessions go on, I'm like, oh well, this is one of the key ones, so don't mess it up, Jen. Like you only have like 4 of these, they're quite important.
I guess it comes out how it does on the day as well. Like you can't, it's not like you're playing football and you kick the ball out sort of thing. Like you can't actively mess it up to that degree. But I was thinking the other day as well, like do you remember, probably would be like 8-9 weeks, maybe 8 weeks ago, like we did that long run with, and then 6 by 10 minutes at the end.
Yeah.
And do you remember how bad we felt on that? We were doing like 3:55 a k.
Yeah.
Like just imagine if, I would like to think if we did that now, we'd probably be like 15-20 seconds a k quicker.
Oh, absolutely. I'm probably feeling a lot better doing it.
Yeah.
I think that goes back to like, I remember like even then like asking Dave to do the sort of sessions I'm doing now, and him like trying to rein me back and tell me it's like you've got to develop this before you then develop that, and you've got to take it step by step. And like me being the impatient athlete I am, I wanted to do it all at once, but I'm glad he managed to hold me back, because like you can see the logic behind every step you make, which, you know, I would have been out there trying to run 5 by 5k at the marathon pace 8 weeks ago, and not coming home very happy girl. So yeah, pleased. I was really pleased with that. And then I followed it up in the afternoon with just an easy 30 minute jog before going and seeing my physio. So that's this, and I see my physio at like 5:45 in the evening. So it always means I have to like double pretty early, which is always a bit rough after a session in the morning.
4 out of 5 hours.
5 hours,
back from
the
session.
So I'm like forcing myself out, but the bonus is I got to do it in the daylight, so I was able to go into the park. So that was Wednesday. It ends up always being a massive day. It's like 22 mile day. So, and I'm mixing my kilometers and miles there, but I couldn't tell you what that is in kilometers, so we'll stick with miles. So that was Wednesday. Thursday morning, I did another 75-minute run, and it was another day where Dave told me he didn't want to run with me. This is what married life is like, guys. Like, it's horrendous. Like, just every day he just doesn't want to speak to me. So I started on my run, and I stopped to take a picture, and I stopped to find a bush to do my business in, and it just so happened that I stopped for enough minutes that he managed to catch me up on this run. Once we got to the barrage, and it was the barrage was up, so I was stood there waiting, and who happens to appear in the golden sunlight? My husband, the one who said he didn't want to speak to me and he didn't want to run with me today. So he had to run the second half of this run with me as well, which he was not best pleased about. But I thoroughly enjoyed it, so it was great, and it was a really lovely morning that day. Actually, sun was out, cold but not too cold. Yeah, just all in all, great run. And again, like the morning after a session, I always feel pretty decent. So it's always quite a pleasant morning out. I picked up a local legend status that morning as well. Local legend of Race the River.
You nicked one off me the day before.
Oh, yeah, they're rolling in now because I've had like 90 days now probably to log all my training. I'm getting all the local legends. So that was Thursday morning. Thursday evening, and it was a 52-minute run with Dave and Dan Hamilton. Ended up being a bit longer because we like went one way to meet Dan, and then back to do our evening 45-minute run loop. So it ended up being 52 minutes. So that was just over 10.5k. So that was quite a big day the day after the session, actually. Must have ended up being like 27k. And I was tired that night. Like, wasn't even two-stepping. Like, just didn't want to be out there, to be honest. But I got it done. And then Friday morning, I was tired on Friday morning. My first 2 kilometers on Friday were like just inside 5 minutes, which for me, when I'm on my own, is pretty tough going, to be honest. I've got to be feeling pretty awful. But yeah, 75 minutes again. That's the theme. This every single day that's not been a session this week's been a 75-minute run in the morning. But yeah, 75 minutes, 4:44 pace. And then went to the gym that day, still keeping it in. When I went to see Johnny, I was like, can I stop doing the gym now? He's like, just keep it in, Jen. Like, keep it in once a week. That's all you've got to do. Just half an hour. You just go in there, look at the weights, touch them for a minute and go home. I was like, okay. So I made it to the gym, 40 minutes, did pretty much like some half-hearted attempts at a few exercises, but still like really focusing on like doing my calves and my plyo, because I think they're just like, I know those, if I keep those things in, I'm touch wood, going to be okay. But if I start to let those slip, that's usually when the problems appear. So I got those done and then went out again in the afternoon, and I had an absolute nightmare. So this was the day where like there was like loads of floods everywhere. I started the run. I didn't start my watch for a start, which was awful. Didn't realise this until I got a mile in, and my route had to be diverted because it was pretty much completely underwater down Cathays. There is a photo on my Strava, but there were 2 cars that had obviously thought it wasn't that deep and had attempted to drive through this enormous flood and were like absolutely stranded, which I found hilarious, to be honest. I was like, it's just so obvious that it's massively deep, and I don't know why they drove through it, but there we go. So at this point I realized I hadn't started my watch, and I was absolutely fuming, to be fair. And then I had like 3 miles to run, and I was like, where do I go for 3 miles? Like, this is awful. Like, my whole evening's been ruined. So I ended up doing like 2 laps of like up Cathays Terrace, back down onto North Road, then back up Cathays Terrace, to get it to total 4 miles. But I had to manually input a mile, which was just horrendous. You know, that's almost like, you shouldn't be doing that, should you guys? So I'm sorry to everybody out there who had to See that from me.
Yeah, most people would leave that on private. The missing mile.
Can't do
I'd
that.
never even thought of doing that. I'd never thought of doing that. Next time I will do that because I got some comments this week as well.
Do you know what? At the back of my mind, I was like, I know this is going to be the highest mileage week I've ever run in my life. And if this mile is not on there, it's not going to be. So it needs to be on there. Like it has to appear.
Dan's going to be at 280k once he starts adding his missing miles in. Watch out, Jake
Run to
Barclough.
the shop.
Run to Visca.
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
So yeah, that was Friday night. Dave decided he didn't want to come with me this evening as well. He sacked off the run because of the weather. I went out because I want it more than he does. So got it done. And then Saturday was amazing. So we didn't wake up till 9:45 on Saturday morning. Like incredible scenes. I slept for like basically 10 hours straight, and I woke up like a brand new human. Like so good. Amazing. I don't know. I must have been tired. I didn't think I was that tired, but I must have been because I don't really ever typically sleep for that long. But yeah, it was incredible to be honest. But it did mean we didn't get out for our run until 11 a.m., which is pretty diabolical really for a morning run, isn't it? But I only had one run to do on Saturday, and it was just an hour. So an hour a day, 4:43 per K. And I felt great. Refreshed, loads of energy, like I'd had a good night's sleep to be honest. So that was good, and then took off Saturday afternoon as I always do, preparing physically and mentally for the Sunday long run. I did on Saturday practice the carb load for the first time ever before the long run, because just wanted to make sure I could handle it. And
How
it was
many
actually
jelly babies?
I had 20 jelly babies. I googled it.
20 individual jelly babies you counted.
I counted them out, yeah, because I had them over, a few hours. Like, I just go to the bag. The thing is, right, so you suggested just eat a bag of jelly babies. Well, our bags of jelly babies are 3 kilos, and that's just not going to work, is it? Like 3 kilos. They're
carb loaded. You'd be carb
I would be carb loaded. I would be carb loaded.
How many jelly babies are in a normal, sized bag?
I haven't got a clue, to be honest. It's
I
got to be
reckon
like
it'd
20.
About 20.
Yeah.
So you've had one bag of jelly babies.
Yeah, pretty much.
Have like 2 or 3.
What, bags?
Yeah, not the 3 kilos, the normal bags.
Just 9 kilos of jelly babies.
Yeah.
I'd definitely be well carb loaded.
It was when you sent me the picture of the notes, and I was like, trying to figure out. I was like, what is going on here? And then you explained it was individual jelly babies.
Yeah. So Google told me that each jelly baby has about 5 grams of carbs in it. So I was like, right, it's so much easier to add up how many carbs I've had if I just count it by jelly babies.
You didn't just do the whole carb load in jelly babies, though, did you?
No. I had other things as well. So I'm a bit savage. So I can eat jam and honey and things like that. I can literally just like eat it off the spoon. Like I love stuff like that. So I was just like slapping jam onto like toast. Like that was an easy one for me. I had like just plain like white wraps filled with honey. Then obviously like dinner Dave made. We had like rice, like egg fried rice, but it was a bit of disaster there because Dave insisted on putting loads of garlic in it, and then he burnt like the garlic. Like, to be fair to him, he cooked me dinner, so I can't really knock it, but at the same time I told him not to do this, and he like put loads of garlic in it, so it wasn't really edible. So I had a backup plan. So then I got on the rice pudding with like tablespoons of jam in it. That was good. We had pancakes again with loads of jam on it and like lemon and sugar. So I managed to get, I think, for my calculations, they could be incorrect here, but I managed to get about 510 grams of carbs, which is about 10 grams per kilo. Is that right? 10? What is it? Whatever
grams per kilo. Body weight.
Yeah. So I was quite pleased with that, to be honest. And it was actually way more manageable and easy than I thought it was going to be. So I reckon for the marathon, I could probably edge that up to like 600. I don't know. Will that I'm hoping that would be like more beneficial, or is that going to end me like in trouble in the race? GI distress.
I think it'd be beneficial. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's worth doing. I think it's free, fairly cheap performance.
Yeah.
To be had.
I would just take the whole 3 kilo tub out of jelly babies and it'd be sorted. I would just go, let's go 20 grams per kilo of body weight and see what happens then.
The problem is I want to use that luggage allowance for my holiday clothes, and that's more of a priority than the jelly babies. So, and I did Google it. Like, Spain don't sell jelly babies either, so
it'll be that Haribo, won't it? So.
Yeah, and that's just not as easy to get down. Jelly babies are like they're just easy, aren't they?
No, I don't like jelly babies. So.
Do you not? You don't have to really chew a jelly baby. Like, I don't like sweets you have to chew.
You don't have to chew.
I'm team jelly baby over wine gums every day of the week. I bloody hate wine gums.
Get it?
I mean, what nanas eat? Wine gums.
Nanas and
yeah.
I don't mind. I've got less competition for the wine gums.
Yeah, you're safe. You can have all the wine gums. Jelly babies, Dan and I are arguing over those.
Wine gums and Colin the Caterpillar, the cola and the cherry ones are great.
See, I don't like a cola tasting sweet.
Oh, that cola's so good. Cola's my favourite flavour.
Oh, no. So even like, I have to pick those out of the bags of Haribo because the cola bottles, I just can't do them. They're just not okay.
You can give them to me in Valencia. I'll eat them.
Okay. You can get me some more jelly babies in return. So that was Saturday. So I went to bed feeling very full and content. And I woke up in the morning and ate pretty much what I'm planning on eating on the day of the marathon, which is literally like 2 slices of toast with a load of jam on it. And that's pretty much it, to be honest. I did try drinking some of the Morton 360. But I just don't like it. I can't get on with the taste of it. And like, I'm a bit funny when it comes to that. Like, I just can't deal with it. So I was planning on having that like before the race, like to sip on, but I think I'm just going to have an electrolyte drink and a gel to like combine basically what the Morton drink mix does instead, because I just don't like it. But I'll get to the main point now. The Sunday session, the Sunday long run, we took a trip to Redwick, to the Rose Inn Loop. That anyone that's not local,
nailed it.
The Rose Inn Loop. And I was, how would you describe my emotions and feelings towards this when we arrived, Owain?
You weren't happy. Well, on the way in, you reminded us that you've won Rose Inn twice.
Yes.
And then you weren't happy because, to be fair, it was windier than we thought.
Yes. So I had pre-warned the boys that, even if it says it's about 5 miles an hour of wind, it will feel a lot more windy than that. But they shut me down. Well, it was mainly Dave shut me down. And he's like, we're going.
I think I enabled Dave's bold attitude towards it because I've never been to Rose Inn. Dave hasn't either, has he? So
no. So you wanted to experience the magic.
Yeah, we've had a lot about it.
Yeah. So we parked up, got out the car, ran one way around the loop. We're like, oh, it's a bit windy, isn't it, boys? It's a bit windy. So the suggestion was, why don't we try running around the other way? Because it might be less windy on that direction. So the second half of the warm-up, we went the other way around the loop, and to our surprise, it was just as windy.
It did have like 4 toilet stops in that.
In
that first lap as well.
We did have about 4 toilet stops. So we sussed out the loop, got the lie of the land, and committed to the first direction we went in, because we thought perhaps slightly more sheltered for about an extra 50 meters because there was a house.
So which way around did you go?
So the way Rose Inn goes. So what way would that be?
Track-wise. Yeah,
track-wise. Yeah, track direction.
That's the only way you can run Rose Inn. You can't run it the other way around.
We tested it though, just to see if it'd be less windy. There was also a point on the warm-up where there was two women on 2 horses, and I thought, God, if this happens during the actual session, I am screwed, because I'm there literally like letting Owain like 8-step me, because I'm absolutely terrified of like horses.
Yeah, I don't know why you did that. I went between you and the horses, and then you dropped yourself, and I was like,
I
"But if
know.
I'm between you and the horse, like,
It's
surely
just
that's the best
just
way
the
to do it."
panic that comes over me and my body like freezes. I'm like, I can't go past. I can't do it.
You dropped yourself, and then you like basically
And then
kicked in the warm up, and then dropped me.
yeah. I was like, I can't cope. I can't. I was angry at this point. I was like, I was frustrated because it was windy, and I had the mindset of like, I told you so. Like, I knew this was going to happen, and then I was like, right, Jen, just suck it up. It could be like this on the race day. You never know. So we're just going to deal with the conditions. And the loop itself is like pretty good so the run totaled 34.6 kilometers and there was 16 meters of elevation total for the whole thing. So it's like the flattest place you can get to do a session, really. Traffic free, pretty much, except for the odd tractor. There was a rocket show going on. Was it a rocket show?
Yeah, there's
So
a rocket club there. Yeah.
There was a crowd for every lap we went on. And yeah, the loop's pretty much just it's 1.91 miles. So pretty much, yeah, 3K a lap basically, isn't it?
Yeah.
So it is ideal. Like, aside from the wind, it is perfect for a marathon session. So I shouldn't slag it off too much. And we had a pretty good morning, to be fair, in terms of the outcome of the session. So it did make up for my initial disappointment and frustrations. And basically what it was 30 minutes jog, which didn't end up being a jog at all when I look back at it. And then straight into 3 sets of 15 minutes at around 350, then 15 minutes at 335 k, and then 15 minutes jog to finish. Dave said the worst thing to me he could possibly say before the session: if you're feeling good, you can go a bit faster. Which is not the right thing to say to Jen. Because I'm already taking seconds off what he's prescribed me before I've even started. But I will get into the splits. Yeah, so 30 minutes at 4:19 a k to start. Then straight into 15 minutes at 3:48, 15 minutes at 3:33, 15 minutes at 3:47, 15 minutes at 3:32, 15 minutes at 3:47, then 15 minutes at 3:28, and then I only managed 14 minutes and 12 seconds for the warm down because I got to the car and I thought, that's enough for me. Owain went off, to jog around in a circle just to add on an extra 45 seconds. And he did get the piss taken out of him.
Quite rightly so too.
But yeah, this session we did with you, Dan, on the Taff Trail. Probably, what was that, like 5 weeks ago?
It's Pace of Dan.
Oh, it's the same one, isn't it?
Yeah. The Pace of Dan session. We went quite a lot slower on that day, I think, but I would say the effort on that day was a lot higher than
it was
the effort
awful weather, wasn't it, that day?
Yeah, it wasn't good weather. Definitely not on the Rosin Magic Loop. So it was nice to go and do it again and feel a lot better doing it. One thing I would say is the splits are a bit all over the place in terms of, like, if you like break down like the 15 minutes just because of the wind. So like one side you were working like a bit harder than the other side where you're getting a bit of a free ride because you had the wind like pushing behind you a little bit. And I could notice that even we said on the warm-up, didn't we, like as soon as we turned out of the wind, like our heart rates all dropped by like 8 to 10 beats. But aside from that, I think we executed this really well. The paces felt like really, even like the ons didn't ever feel like that hard. And I don't know, like I expected it to like bite a lot more than it did, or like have to work a lot harder to get those paces. The 3:47 floats felt like you were jogging, which is not. I know it's like that is quite far off what race pace is supposed to be, but it's still like
it's still
just as
close,
percentage to it. It's not that much slower. So
In
yeah,
some ways, I think that's the best marker of fitness for like the marathon and half marathon is how fast can you run your recoveries, because you are generally recovering then.
yeah.
But if the pace is good on that, then you know you're ready to go.
No, yeah, especially if you can go back to the faster pace and execute it well. Otherwise, you could just run the recoveries really fast, but then slow down on the effort, and then it's
Yeah,
like
obviously it
a bit
involves you need to be pushing the
counterproductive.
ons as well.
Yeah,
But
yeah, even like the last 15 minutes, 3:28, like that's a lot faster than I think I'll run, at least for the first 3/4 of the race. Like if I could run 3:28 for the last 5K, I'll be over the moon. But to be able to kind of finish the last K of this, like the 31st K of this run was a 3:26 and feeling like smooth and in control. So I just feel like my durability and my aerobic capacity over the last like 8-9 weeks is like developed a lot. I was saying that earlier for my session on the Wednesday, like I'm amazed I've been able to perhaps put some of these sessions together that I didn't perhaps think I would be able to, just in terms of like I know I can always run a 3-minute K, a 3:10, a 3:15, whatever, but putting as many of them back to back, or like over like a 31, 32, 33 kilometer run, and it feeling smoother than I thought it would, or even smoother than it did like 3 or 4 weeks ago. I got a lot of confidence from that. For someone who's like said all along, like, how am I ever going to get any confidence for this marathon? I've got no idea how I'm going to do it. I feel like I'm getting a little bit now. I mean, I've still like yet to experience anything over like 35K. So I don't know what's going to happen after that. That's the bit that scares me the most, because like it could all fall apart after that. But I feel like at least I can get to halfway and be confident that I should be okay.
no, you'll be absolutely fine. How hard out of 10 was that last 5K or that last 15 minutes?
How hard out of 10 was the last 15 minutes? Probably like an 8. 8 out of 10.
226 pace. 26 pace.
220. 226. I don't think. Yeah, I'm nowhere near that shape. I don't think. But like, Dave and I having this conversation yesterday or the day before. It's like you can make back so much time in the last like 10K of a marathon if you've executed the first half right and you've been smart about it. Like even the last 400, he was like, you could make 5 seconds up there if you can run like a low, like a high 70, like a 78, 79 second last 400. So it's just, I think it's just about keeping the plan the same, but hoping to execute the second half a little bit better. Pretty much.
So I tell everybody, you can get so much time back. I think when I ran my first 2:15, I went through halfway in 68 and then went 67 for the second half. But most of that's in my final like 10K. I've just dropped from going like 3:12, 3:13 a K down to 3:06 a K.
Yeah.
Do that for 10K and you're gonna take a minute off.
Yeah, pretty much. That's what I'm telling like all my athletes to do as well. Like be smart about the first half of the race, and then see like do a little body check at 25K, see how you're feeling and what all the stats are saying. Not that I'm going to look at heart rate at all during the marathon, because it's just not a thing I need to know. I don't need to know what's going on with that. I can have a look afterwards.
I think you should do a whole like Joe Klecker and just no watch, just run.
Just run.
First marathon, no watch, just do it.
Yeah, I know what would happen. So I actually spent the whole of the weekend watching last year's Valencia marathon, trying to like learn about the course. Is that really tragic? But I was a bit like, I was still a bit worried about like the start and being like swept up in like going too fast. So I just wanted to like see like how busy it was and what it looked like and how it started, and what like the first like kilometer of the course looked like, to try and like prepare myself to not go off like an absolute donut and ruin it from the start. So I have done my course research now too. So I feel like I've practiced everything I can possibly do, and aside from one session this week, I've done everything I can possibly do as well. So that I guess like we ended it on a good note on Sunday.
No, very good session. Very good session. With the start, there are a couple of like turns quite early on, which are quite
Yeah.
steep. But I think the
Okay.
secret is let everybody go because everyone goes off like an absolute nutter,
Yeah.
and have average pace up on your watch, like average
Yeah.
lap pace. And you glance down at that and go, you're supposed to be doing 3:33s. I'm actually doing 3:10s. Better back off a minute because it'll feel
Yeah.
like you're jogging.
So
And
easy.
everyone else is
Yeah.
going off so hard, you feel like you just need to get into that groove.
Yeah.
Um, and
That's
after
pretty
5K, you
much
find your pack.
that's like pretty much exactly how I'm going to do it. Like I'm just going to lap my watch every 5K, have the lap pace up for that, the lap time up for that, and I'll know pretty much if I want to look at my watch going through a kilometer split what it should be saying. But I'm not going to like be checking religiously in terms of like every kilometer because I think that could lead to a very long 42K if I'm looking every K. But yeah, keeping in check, just kind of and being confident enough to back off as well. Usually, if I'm in a race and I'm running a pace, I'm like, well, this is the pace I'm running at now, so I better stick at it. But I
Yeah.
don't think I can employ that tactic for the first 5K of a marathon.
Yeah. I think the watch is the most useful in that first 5K, maybe 10K,
Yeah,
and just checking the ego because it's obviously going to feel easy. It's going
yeah,
to feel so easy. You've never raced a distance that is 26 miles long.
yeah,
So it's going to feel like you're absolutely jogging and you've got all the
yeah.
adrenaline and you go off the line and you're running at marathon pace and it just feels like
Like you're
super,
chilling.
super easy. And
Yeah,
the first mile of the race is going to feel like the easiest race mile you've ever done. I remember I remember when I was not in shape to run 5 minute miling at all for a marathon and just going through in like 5:01 and thinking, that felt like it was 5:30.
you know,
Better back
yeah,
off a bit here.
but yeah, literally, that's the only thing I'm focusing on is probably like trying to back off like more than anything else for at least the first 5-10K. And if I can nail that, then I feel like I'll probably find like a good rhythm and a good group. But it's just executing that bit, and I think that's either going to make or break my race. So I've got to play it smart.
Yeah. You can only go out too fast. No one's
Yeah,
going out too slow. You can only go out too fast.
yeah. So no, got to. I can't
No
ruin
one
like,
might
and
go
I
out too
think
slow because he's super,
super
super
super cautious.
conservative, cautious, sensible.
Yeah, smart.
Smart,
Comes
that's what I
from
was looking for, yeah.
yeah, like coming past all the guys that have gone out in like a minute quicker than you over 5K, and then you're just like chilling, coming past them at like halfway, and being like, yeah, you're all losers. See, that's what I don't want to happen to me. Not Owain coming past me, but just everyone looking at me thinking, yeah, she's a loser. Like, why the hell did she do that? So that's the goal.
It's good to have some fear, I think, in there just to
Yeah,
keep your ego in check.
absolutely. But yeah, all in all, I think that was probably one of my best training weeks of the block, to be honest. I enjoyed it. Like there was a bit of a period of time during the last like 12 weeks where I've hated running. But I'm back into the loving running phase. And it was 114.2 miles or 183.8 kilometers. So yeah,
Big, big
my highest
case.
mileage week. Yeah. But it's slowly dropping the mileage now. And I'll have more time to
Nice.
do nothing. So yeah.
Owain, you going next?
Yeah, yep. So yeah, my normal start to a Monday, hour easy, 4:47 a k. I think I got pretty soaking wet, which is probably a theme for the week. And then yeah, in the evening, 42 minutes easy with Rachel. Yeah, I wasn't feeling too bad off of the long run. Just yeah, like no DOMs because that was my worry after wearing the crappy Mizunos. That I would feel rubbish for a few days, but I felt fine. Yeah, no, so feeling good on Monday evening. Yeah, Tuesday morning then a bit more just general fatigue as normal. So another hour easy, 4:49. Got absolutely soaked on this one. Yeah, that wasn't fun. And then Tuesday evening again, 40 minutes easy, got absolutely soaked again. It was just there was just so much stuff in the house drying.
I guess if
And
it was the laundrettes,
I
like
know,
the
yeah,
laundrettes, yeah.
just yeah, stuff. And it was like I would run in my jacket and then I'd have to like put it back on 10 minutes later to cycle into work. which wasn't
Ooh,
great.
not ideal.
And like it wasn't.
Your running jacket is your just normal coat, is it?
No, for cycling in, like on the bike. So I've got like a Solomon jacket that's pretty good, but it feels
Hey, none of that
okay to
Solomon
cycle in.
stuff on here.
Yeah, sorry, yeah. Another brand. Yeah, no, it feels. I think it felt horrible putting on something that was soaking wet still, but it was at least like a bit warm. Yeah, so that was okay. But yeah, not fun. And so like the weather on Tuesday night was really bad as well. Like there was flooding. So then Wednesday morning,
Yeah.
Wednesday my plan was to do an hour and 10 minutes. But then I got to Tongwen Lies and you couldn't. There's like an underpass under the A470, and it was completely underwater. And then a cyclist came the other way, and the water was like above his axles. It was so high, so I was like, "Yeah, I'm not going to run through that." That would have been like almost knee deep.
Ooh, yeah. You
Yeah,
need
I
to
was
get
like,
armbands out for that.
I was like, I don't want to kill my shoes, so I'm not going to do that. So then turned around, thought, okay, this is fine. I can do another loop, and then got most of the way through that loop, and then the road was flooded, and I could have run down the middle of the road, but there was like a huge queue either side of cars, and I was like, I'm not gonna. I've already been splashed by a few cars at this point. I'm not gonna risk it. So I ended up being an hour and 5 minutes. It started hammering it down again. I was like, oh, I'm done with this. Yeah, and then fortunately, then when Thursday morning the weather cleared a bit. So this was in my head. This was probably my last like big session. In terms of like an hour and 15 sort of worth of work. And to be honest, like I'm feeling fine about training and everything, but I just wasn't feeling particularly creative. So I was like, I'll just do 3 by 25 minutes, which is like 4 and a bit miles for me. So sort of 3 by 4 miles, like three by 4.1 miles, maybe. And then I thought in my head, I was like, oh, okay, I'll try like jog float 2 minutes between them. More a time crunch thing than anything. Like, yeah, it would have been nice to do a mile between each, but I didn't really have the time. And yeah, I
He's
finished the
working on
first.
minutes here. He's
I
working
know.
minute by minute.
I So I did the first one and it felt fine, but like I don't know, just the same theme as all of these morning sessions is it's dark. I mean, it's just soaking wet the entire way down the Taft Trail, and I'm just like feeling a bit tired. And I sort of finished the first 25 minutes, and I'm like, it felt fine, but not great. I don't know a way of describing it. It just felt just completely average. Like I didn't feel like I could push any harder, but it didn't feel like I was going too slow either. And I think the splits sort of bear that out as well.
Like really even, the splits. If
Yeah,
you're looking at them
Picked it
like on
up,
here.
trended
Yeah.
trended faster.
yeah, like and in terms of like heart rate, like really good for the
Yeah, it's
pace.
like really stable as well.
Yeah, yeah. Like looking back on it, it's like I ran for as long and faster than we did on the Sunday,
Yeah.
but this just still felt a bit meh. But yeah, no, I did the first one, and then to be honest, I was like, I need to take off my head torch because it was just about light enough, and I was so sweaty under my head torch. I just decided to just like shufflely jog the recoveries. Yeah, not particularly moving very fast on them, but yeah, no, ended up being fine. So it's 3:43, 3:43 a k, and then 3:38 a k for the last one. And yeah, like heart rate, like you said, nice and stable throughout. Just I don't know, just didn't musculoskeletally or overall feel amazing, but is sort of what it is. In my head as well, I did want to like absolutely smash the carbs, but I didn't. I only did 130 grams. I thought about taking two 90-gram precisions and just trying to smash both of them through it, and then in hindsight, I'm glad I didn't. 130 was about all I could manage in terms of carbs for this.
So what's about per
Yes,
hour?
what's that going to be? Probably close to 100 an hour.
Yeah, it's
Pretty
gotta
good
be.
though, isn't it?
Yeah.
95 an hour, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, happy with that. Yeah. So it was one of those ones where the session was absolutely fine, but just because I think my feel is like slightly gone, it just doesn't feel amazing. But sort of at this point, I'm saying to myself, like, that's, the next weekday session is going to be 10 to 15 minutes less work. And I think that change will just massively change my outlook. I think also the weather changing this week will help. It's just, when you're getting up and it's like, you can still hear it raining and it's like still 12, 13 degrees as well. And it's just, it doesn't actually feel, when it's dark, it's not particularly nice conditions to run in, I don't think.
Would find, like, I was saying this to Dave the other day, like, I would find it, and I know I've got like spatial awareness issues when I'm running. Like, I'm as close to people in the daylight as I could possibly be, but like I would really struggle doing like sessions like running fast with a head torch on, and I think like it's got to be worth like a good few seconds like in the daylight. And I think you got to like also think about that probably when you're doing a session. It's like, actually, this is worth X amount more. It's like going to altitude. You get like the boost off it when it's like the lights up.
Night games.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure we talked about this with Tom, didn't we? Tom Evans with UTMB and like the light going and coming back, like the difference in like heart rate and just perceived exertion of how hard a pace feels.
I found it in a session like when it started to get, I think it was just when the clocks went back. Like, I definitely remember talking about like the sun came up and like the RPE dropped and the pace went up. And I found it in ultras as well, like where I've done stuff overnight. The sun comes up and you just like, it changes everything. It's such a big, like, obviously that's when you're running through the night and it's like, just, it's sort of indescribable. Like it feels really odd. But yeah, no, it's a good session, but like my feel is sort of gone. So it's just like, feels a bit meh in the moment, but I think I'm just saying like I'm doing the right thing, so it'll be what it will be. So then Friday morning, just again back to the hour easy, 4:47 a K, and then double in the evening. I was trying to do a lap of Victoria Park like you have been doing, Jen.
Stealing the loop. Got it.
In theory, but then I took a wrong turn on the way there.
Okay. I'm trying to look at like the way you went. I was like,
we turned one road too early, and then ended up on Cowbridge Road.
Yeah.
What, east west? So no, it's an okay loop, and also again Friday it was just raining the entire day. Like, I didn't think I was gonna be able to cycle home because I thought the TAF would have like burst its banks. And then I cycled home and it was like it stopped raining, and I was like, oh, here we go, like we might get lucky. And we got 10 minutes into this and it started hammering it down. Which wasn't great, but what was that, 40 or 39 40 minutes? I'll round up 4
Come
seconds.
on, 39:56.
I should have kept running. I think Rachel did. I stopped. And then Saturday again, hour easy, 4:41. I think again, like on the Saturday, I'm running in the daylight the entire way, so I think again that just like that gives me a few seconds a K early on. Before this, in a normal morning. It's dark, and then getting ready for Sunday. So I didn't carb load for this.
You didn't carb load? You're the king of the carb load, aren't you? You'll preach it to everybody.
You had the wine gums out and everything.
I figured that I'd already done a carb load for the half a few weeks before, and then I'd done one for Barry earlier in the year and the 100K. And although I think it's easy to do, I think you can definitely get like taste and just food item fatigue. Like when after Stroud half, like all I wanted to eat was just like fruit and like fresh food. Just wanted something different. And I sort of thought, I know this works. I don't feel like I need to do it. So I sort of save the like the emotional distress that there isn't really much, but it's just, I just didn't really want to sit around eating all day on the Saturday. So so I didn't carb load. But I mean, you didn't mention it, Jen, but I like we both hit the carbs pretty hard during the run. Got to rows in, really exciting. Like I said, Jen reminded us that she's won 2 rows ins, and it was it was windy. Like we were warming up, and and Jen and Dave were, I don't want to say arguing, but there was some choice words, and I was sort of there thinking like, shit, I definitely said about doing this quite a lot. And then
You forgot to mention that when you arrived, the first thing you did was got out of the car and took a picture.
yeah, of the Rose Inn pub.
Yeah. Like a tour, like you've turned up to some massive tourist destination.
So did you park in the village?
Yeah, literally opposite the pub. Like, do you know where the church is?
Yeah.
Yeah. Put the car,
That's
car
not where
there.
I've got a lay-by parking, which is like on the far end.
Yeah, because
Outway
we put
Prime
bottles
Lines.
on the car as well.
I think if we were doing it again, maybe one of those lay-bys would have been better because
Yeah.
you could just get the bottles off the car, couldn't you?
Yeah.
But yeah, no, we were warming up, and Jen was not happy, and I was a bit like the what's the Ralph Wiggum meme, like I'm in danger sort of thing. I was like, I'm getting dropped here. But no, so we started on the float again, which the same that we did with Dan, which I think is the best way to do it, rather than going straight into the hard. And then I think if we'd had to do a float at the end into the headwind, like we would have just binned it off.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
had enough by that point.
But yeah, so again, like similar to Jen, like I thought this went really well. Like it was definitely harder work into the headwind, but I felt like it was easier doing the hard laps like into the headwind than the floats.
Yeah, because you're trying to recover more on the. I think you're more conscious of it on the float.
Yeah, definitely. Like so we did the first float and the first hard, and like both went okay. And then on the next float into the headwind, like I think we talked about this after, Jen. Like you like to like push through the headwind like Jake Smith style.
Yeah. I see wind and I run into it.
Whereas I'm looking at my heart rate and thinking like I'd like to get this down a little bit more. So on the second one, you started running off and like it went from like half stepping to like probably 5 stepping. And then I was like running along and I was like, do I shout like, Jen, like what pace are we? Because we were faster than the pace that we were meant to be by like
Yes,
2 seconds a K.
Dave had said if I felt good.
I was thinking like, am I like, Jen, look at the pace sort of thing. But no, I let you probably get like 5, 6, 7 meters ahead. And then when we turned back into the tailwind, just like quite easily caught up again.
Yeah.
And I felt like that felt a bit better for me to recover like that.
Your my approaches to the headwind was slightly different on the recovery.
Like as soon as doing that just like kept my heart rate near LT1. Whereas if I think even like that 1 or 2 seconds a K, it would have just been above. And like I know it won't dramatically change it, but
I'm like you, Owain. I'm always backing off on the hills or headwind, right? Slow it down. I go train with Jake and he's just off. He's off. Doesn't care.
I'm glad I bring a Jake to the group
because his cadence is too low and his heart rate's too high or whatever it is. But he doesn't care. He's off.
But yeah, I think I think a really good session. Yeah, like same paces for me on the ons, like 3:34, 3:33, 3:29. Yeah, we definitely. I think. Well, I don't want to say we got lucky because like we ran into the headwind as much as we did the tailwind, but we got like double tailwind on the last rep, which was definitely a lot easier. Well, not a lot easier, but it was just quite nice finishing and not having to like
mentally. It was mentally knowing that I was finishing this before the headwind again.
Yeah, that was good. But no, really good session. Yeah, 190 grams of carbs. Yeah, enjoyed it. We we had we have to give a shout out to the podcast listener.
We've got to.
We finished and we were stood by the car and then we'd gone past this guy a couple of times and he had said, I thought he said to us like good work in terms of the run, but now in hindsight it was about the podcast. And then he ran past us and he shouted to me, "At least you didn't get dropped this time." In reference to
sensational.
I know, it was so good. We absolutely loved it. That was really class. So yeah, shout out whoever that was on the Rose Inn loop.
Big shout out.
There's always
that was-
someone running down there. Always someone doing some
There's a
session.
lot of people. Yeah.
Yeah, it was quite a few people out there.
Yeah, that was good. Drove home. We listened to Fisherman's Friends as well on the way home.
Oh yes, we did.
You're converts now, are you?
We're not. No.
No.
I don't know if
You
we
need to watch
can
the
we post.
film. That's why it's got the emotional part of it comes with the film.
After
And
listening to
obviously,
the
because I grew up in
music.
Cornwall, it's just in my blood, I think. So
We might have to put that video on the Insta, maybe.
it's a more,
I
it's a
think we
more
will.
throwing shit at Dan, is it, on the Instagram?
I think
Is Dan mental?
I lost the poll as well, despite all the comments being in support. Like, no, you get ruin your washing machine if you do what Jen and Owain do. But I think we're like 44-66 to you guys.
Yeah.
I think we said
56.
after we listened to it and we were like, this really isn't for us. And then we were like, are we being a bit mean? Because Dan's at least like putting himself out there and saying what music he listens to, which is like quite, can be quite a personal thing to like admit what you listen to.
I don't care. I know I've got a very eclectic taste in music.
we did go for a few just to see if there was one that
I think we got to the third one and we were like, this sounds the same as the first one.
Then we just turned on to
Sorry,
something
Dan.
else.
I don't care. I think in our wrap-up show we're gonna our top 3 favorite artists. We've all got to list them out, and then we can see where people stand.
Okay.
Well, Spotify Wrapped will be up by then.
Yeah.
That's an
That's
easy
true,
one.
yeah. Oh god, yeah. That's what we're doing. We New Year's Christmas special Q&A.
Special.
Please share our Spotify Unwrapped.
Put it on repeat now. Put a few songs on.
Yeah, he's still got time to change it.
Yeah. No, good week. Yeah. 143k, 10 hours, 54 minutes. So last hard long run, slightly smaller session this week, and then a pretty chill long run, hopefully. Pretty chill. Jen's ready to go.
So you're in 226 shape as well, are you, Owain?
No, I don't think so. Maybe. We'll see. It depends how downhill the last 10k is. I've heard it's downhill.
Well, it's downhill as with any uphill in Valencia. Yeah, it's downhill.
Maybe I'll take a shortcut. I'll have that. What's that? The official marathon time integrity unit on me.
Yeah,
I think that's my favorite Instagram account at the moment.
I came across it and I thought,
It's
well,
good, isn't it?
I've got to send this to you. Then clicked on my profile. Obviously, you're already following them because that's well up your street.
It's good. Yeah, anyone that's not looked, check them out if you want some interesting. If they've not, because they seem to get shadow banned every day on Instagram, which is quite an achievement.
Go on, tell the listeners what it does. What
they just find people that like claim on Instagram that they ran. So if someone says like, oh, I ran 2:59, but then their chip time is actually like 3 hours 1 minute, and then they just put a really official like comment in the person saying you're under investigation by the Marathon Time Integrity Unit. Please provide us with evidence of this claim, sort of thing. And then obviously predictably then some people get really, really rattled by it. And it's pretty funny then seeing the responses. Surprising number of people do it. But I guess I don't know. I guess you can say like if you're doing your first race, you don't understand what chip time is, and like the app that you've used for training says, oh, you ran it in this time, but
there's a lot of influencers though, aren't there, claiming the big times.
There's some people that should know better.
They're the amusing ones.
Yeah, they're the good ones. They're normally the ones that get rattled as well. It's a good account. But how was your week, Dan?
Yeah, it was good actually. To be fair, it was good. I'm trying to remember now. Feels like a long time ago. Monday, 75 minutes, 4:12 a k. Afternoon, 51 minutes, 4:17 a k. So I've been pushing these easy days a little bit more, and I've gone from I always used to be like a 70-40 guy, and then I went 75-45. Now we're going 75-50, rounding it up to get to 12k, so make it normally a 51. That's a 30k
chasing
day.
the bars.
When I wanted to bank some time because I knew my long run was going to be a little bit less probably this week. So I thought, right, I think this is fine. We'll try this. So that was Monday. Tuesday, as I've already said, I was fuming because I'd been really indecisive of what I was going to do. I think I was messaging you guys saying, is the mile loop still open in Butte Park at like 10:30 the night before?
I'd
I think I went
got
to
you a video the week before, or was that
No, you
no,
got
that was
video
that
the
day.
day
Yeah, that
before.
was
Yeah.
I cycled to work on a different route to get you a video.
Yeah, he sent me a video saying it's probably not a good idea. By this time, I'm already in the car because I was just like, I'm just going to do it. I'll find somewhere in Cardiff to go. I think I needed to be in Cardiff for work or for something at some point. So I was, and then the traffic was awful. So although I left at like 8, it was 9:30 by the time I started this session. There was building work everywhere going on from the Christmas lights set up. There were like people moving scaffolding poles around, which were like 5 meters long, crossing the path, like trucks, vans, everything. It was just absolute chaos. So by the time I saw you guys, I was just fuming. I was just,
You must have only been about 10 minutes in.
I know, and there was just mud everywhere. It was windy as well. I wasn't up for this, to be honest. It turned out all right in the end. So I had 5x3K, 90 seconds, just walk recovery. And what did I run? Because I had been really indecisive about what I was going to do, where I was going to do it. I hadn't set it up on my watch. So I was just looking at average pace. I wanted to do 5x3K. Was just looking at average pace. So, okay, 308 a K, 307 a K, and then going, okay, so that's going to be, I need to run to get into 9:21 then. But then Strava's been mean to me when it's been uploaded, so it's just taken off like a second each time or whatever, a couple of seconds each time. So every rep is like 2.99K on Strava, which
that's such an ick.
it is an ick because I thought I was running like 306, 307s, and I think I thought I was on like, well, to be fair, it's giving me the right pace. I can't moan too much. Anyway, 5x3K went 307, 306, 307, 306, 305. And felt pretty good. I was in the Puma Fast R3s, and this is the first time I've worn them in a while. And I was thinking, yeah, this is a great shoe. This is my marathon shoe. Definitely my marathon shoe. It's. I said to you guys last week, didn't I? I guess I'd just done this session in the morning, and we were recording in the evening. So, yeah, I was pretty decided then this is the shoe. I'm going to find another fresh pair. And yeah, it just felt good. There's so much bounce to it, isn't there? Like, you've worn a pair, haven't you, Jen? They do feel like bouncy as.
Yeah. Oh, you're like,
do you think?
Yeah, you're like Tigger.
Yeah. And I've got the economy testing in it. I know that it's it's the best shoe I've ever tested in. I was like, yeah, my marathon shoe, definitely. And I was really happy with this. Heart rate did get up a bit at the end. Like I think I just touched 170 at the end, but 171 max heart rate according to Strava. But actually the pace just still felt comfortable. It was one of those like few sessions where you go, I need to hold myself back here. I'd start the rep and I'd be looking at my average lap pace. It'd be going 259K, 259K. And I went, no, back off a bit down. Then partly it was because it was windy and you're doing loops, but every one I was definitely having a slower second and third K versus my first K. I haven't got the splits here to see because it's not lined up. I just lapped it every 3K, but came off of this super happy. And yeah, it's like, really pissed off going in, but actually came out really happy. Know what shoe I'm going to wear, feeling good. So that was Tuesday morning. In the evening, you guys said it was awful weather. It was awful weather, so I went on the treadmill, 10 by 3 minutes. I did the same session like a couple of weeks before, and I think it was my first session back after being ill. I did it in the PM. I did 10 by 3 minutes, and that time I started at 19, whereas this time I started at 20K an hour. Thinking, right, we'll start here and hopefully push it on a bit. So did 2 at 20, 2 at 20.2, 2 at 20.4, starting to bite a little bit. It went 20.5 and then 20.6 for the last two. But lactate's like super, super good. It's quite, I haven't been taking many lactates in this block versus like last year. I did a lot more on the treadmill because I had the lab like right there. So I was, and if you got the lab there, you might as well take some lactates. So pretty much once or twice a week, I was just taking lactates, whereas I've done less on my treadmill this time. But it was nice to compare with the session from a couple of weeks previously where I'm running like half a K an hour faster for the same lactate. There was one though where metabolically I was great, like heart rate was good, lactate was good, but my legs were just
Tired.
dead. Like I couldn't run any faster. I was in some ways I was hoping my lactate was going to be high, so I didn't have to put the speed up. And every time I'd take my lactate and go, oh, it's absolutely fine, because I was happy for lactate to get pretty high on this if it could, because I do want to keep that top end in a bit more. But I was working pretty much as hard as I could for those last reps. Lactate coming back as 2.5 and heart rate was only 167, I think, at the end. But it's obviously just the morning and cumulative miles. But did wear the raise for this for the first time. And then you go, oh, this is a good shoe as well. I haven't worn it outside yet, but I'm thinking this is a good shoe. My lactates are really good. The paces are good. I never want to throw into the mix.
It must be tough having so many shoe options, actually.
Well, I banged a load in the summer. I banged a load. I was basically, they were all coming out at similar times, weren't they? The Puma was like the April, and then the Rays and the Metaspeed Edge Sky were in the summer as well. I just knew that they would go out of stock, so preemptively I just bought one of each, thinking, right, I need, hopefully I was thinking I've got loads of time to decide what I'm going to wear for Valencia, and we're 3 weeks out from Valencia and I don't know what shoe I'm going to wear still, but we'll get to that later. So when I'm doing my treadmill runs, I go off the mileage on the treadmill and then go on the calibration and just do the maths in my head going, right, so I did 3K for the warm-up and then 10 times 3 minutes, average pace of 20.3 or whatever. Okay, so that's 19.15. Is that right? 9.65K plus the cool down. But then I'm obviously a bit knackered after that, so miscalculated. So just manually uploaded 1K of distance for 1 second.
So you do
time,
manually
because
upload.
the time had been banked already. So I didn't want to add extra time. I just wanted to add the extra distance. And then obviously I got all the stick from Matt on Strava. Next time it will go private. So it's legitimate mileage. I'm just going to say that. It's legitimate mileage. And I didn't want to give myself extra time on the board because I hadn't done extra time. I just wanted to add the K, but I'd miscalculated when calibrating the treadmill or calibrating the Garmin for the treadmill. Because anyway, that was Tuesday. And that really, Tuesday, it was a big day. I was pretty battered afterwards, to be fair. So Wednesday, 75 minutes or a bit longer, 76 minutes, 4:15 a K. 51 minutes, 52 minutes in the afternoon, 12K, 4:19 a K. Feeling pretty tired. And then Thursday, so back to taking night swimming lessons in the afternoon. So I thought, you know what, I'm doing a big day. I'd planned a big session the next day. I'd do something like a little bit longer, but it was a beautiful day. It was really nice weather, and my legs were starting to feel a bit better. I think I'd Inside Running podcast in, that was it, and I was enjoying it. And they're like an hour 50, aren't they?
I was going to say they're good for a long outing.
Yeah, and I thought, well, this will cover me the whole run. And anyway, I ended up going out for an hour 44 and getting through the whole episode. So 25K, 409 a K. And it was just, I really enjoyed this run. But at the same time, I'd already looked at the forecast for the next day and knew it was going to be bloody awful. And I also knew that I needed to get the session done that day because we had weekend plans. It just wasn't going to work. So I couldn't quite enjoy the fact that it was warm, sunny, nice conditions, not too windy. because I just knew what was coming with the storm that was coming through.
We were sending around that screenshot of the BBC weather where it's just like 100% rain the entire day from
Yeah.
about
The whole
6 a.m. to 8 p.m.
Exactly. Yeah,
It was
and I actually could have
awful.
done it at any point in that day, really, within reason. But it was just going to rain all day, so you get up and get it done, don't you? Now I did carb load because you were talking. I think you would give a good justification why you didn't carb load, Owain, but I think the carb load for me, I'm using it as like a safety blanket, get me out of this hole. The only way I'm going to get through this session is if I carb load because I'm pretty knackered. And logically, I think the carb load is going to have a bigger impact in training versus when you come to a race, because you're going to be more depleted. Like going into when you're tapering like last week into Valencia, your muscle glycogen is going to get stocked up just by doing a bit less training and eating reasonably normally. Whereas if I've done 25k the day before and like 30k the day before that, I'm definitely going to be a bit depleted. So my choice was Haribo Star Mix. I had a bag of that.
What's your
And
favourite one? What's your favourite thing in the Star Mix?
the Jelly Babies, probably.
They're not legit jelly babies, though,
They're not
are
legit.
they?
They're not as good.
They're not as
Definitely not as
good.
good. I do like the Tang Fastic. They're one of probably my favourite Haribo, but my local corner shop didn't have Tang Fastic, so I went with the Star Mix, which is second best.
I like the little fried eggs.
Yeah. They're all right. But I hadn't really been organised enough with the carb load and didn't have good carb loading options in the house, and I wasn't tracking it like you, Jen. I was just going off the vibes, but just trying to eat really basic, and also just cut out fibre as well, because I know that I really didn't want to take a toilet stop on this run, and that's what happens to me if I'm eating too much veg. So I had a very interesting diet on Thursday, but seemed to work all right because, woke up Friday morning, got up pretty early for me for my pro hours, got down to Rose Inn for 7:40, and initially I was like, it's not too bad here. It's not too bad. It jogs a lap, 3.1k all the way around if you want to know, 3.1k or 3.09k. Jogged it up.
I see where you park now. I'm having a look on your map.
Yeah, I've before we get into that, I've treated this like it is race day. So I've done my carb load. I think I had Rice Krispies for breakfast. I've had 4 of the Currans, like black currant supplements. I've gone 300 milligrams of caffeine before we start in the chewing gum form. I don't know if I've got a dud packet, but none of this caffeine seems to be touching the side. I'm not getting any jitters. I'm not feeling like I'm taking 300 milligrams is quite a high dose.
That's quite a lot.
That's 5 milligrams per kilo.
Why do you go gum over tablet form?
It gets into the system a bit quicker.
Okay.
So you can. I literally just have this. I think I had it during my warm up. Actually, I was just chewing it as I was warming up.
Yeah.
Because instead of having to go right, I need to take it an hour before. But then I do question what is the bioavailability? How much of it is actually getting into my system? So maybe I try 400 milligrams next time. I don't know. Just keep
try that on race day and just see what happens.
Yeah, exactly. I'll go for a gram next time. 1 gram, a big 1,000 milligrams.
Shaking.
And for this, I've got on the Puma Fast Star 3s again. As I've decided it's my race shoe. So session was 5x5 of 1k steady, and by the time I'd finished a warm up, I've done a lap. I go, no, it is definitely windy out there. The rain is raining the whole time, so I've got a cap on the whole time, trying to shelter my eyes so I can actually see what Strava's saying. Strava's saying the wind is 23k an hour. I think the gusts were worse than that. It was just awful. It was just awful.
What was your meteor pace saying?
Because
you don't have any Strava anymore.
I don't know why. I didn't take it off. It just disappeared.
I think they've done a big update in the last few days.
Yeah, maybe I need to re-add it. But it was so the weather's. I know the weather's. I'd already knew the weather was grim, so I'd been psychologically prepping myself for this and go right. It's just a heart rate job today. Don't expect to be hitting any crazy splits, and just keep an eye on my heart rate. And I'd even gone as so far as to looking back at Valencia and going like, what was my average heart rate for the first 5K, and looking at those K splits, and then 10K, what am I up to, etc. So I was using that as a target. Yeah. Meteor Pace says it's only 17 kilometer an hour winds. Well, I don't know about that Meteor Pace. I'm going with Strava because it's saying it was worse. It felt pretty awful. So yeah, 5x5K for 1K steady. And to start off with, it was quite nice in that because it's 5K on, 1K off is 6K. So I'm thinking, right, it's 2 laps each time. That'll keep it consistent. But because it's actually 3.1K per lap, every set I was just getting not quite so far. So to start with, I had it nailed, and that the floats were in the worst part of the wind, and I had a lot of good running with the wind. So when I was with the wind, I was going like 306 a K, feeling like I'm feeling like I'm jogging here. And then I'd go into the wind, it would be like 313, 314 a K. But then having the float, I quite like the float as the hard one because I feel like I could float quicker, but I was aiming to just keep it like 330. And that felt really comfortable. But as the session went on, the float became the best part of the run in terms of had the biggest bit of tailwind. And then like the first and last K of each rep was straight into the worst bit, which psychologically was tough, but ended up like really happy with it, to be fair. Like I actually couldn't get my heart rate as high as I would have liked it to. Like my breathing just couldn't get as high as I would have liked to. My heart rate was not getting, I think I just about touched marathon average heart rate, 164 at the end, or a bit higher, 166 maybe. I normally average 165, 166, and for the whole like Strava file, I peaked at 166 apparently. But just couldn't push it anymore. Felt like comfortable from the intensity, but legs just not there and just not ready to push any harder. But I haven't worked out what the average 5Ks were, but I was basically fluctuating between 306 a K, and the slowest K was like 316, 317 maybe into the wind. Anyway, I'm going off of Meteor Pace for the average because it gave me, it said I was averaging 310 a K for the whole thing. Well, I averaged 315 a K officially, but with the adjustment of the winds, it was giving me 310. And I feel like that was about right, looking at where I was going. With the winds, I was running 306 a K, but I was going a bit slower than that, obviously, when I was straight into the headwind. So
Yeah.
that was really positive. I just came out of this really happy. 315 a K, 158 heart rate, which was super low. The actual effort felt great. I felt like I could have done another 5K. I just couldn't have picked up the pace. It was one of those days. And also was really aggressive with the carb load, with the fueling. So I had a gel every 6K, which I think worked out as 120 grams an hour. And it felt absolutely fine as well. So I was, on a pretty big high after this one. Jogged 4K for the cool down, so that ended up as a 37K morning. Pretty happy with that. And then I was suffering the next couple of days, like really suffering. And this is where I realized the Pumas are not my race day shoe, because I was just really sore all up, like my calves, my hamstrings. Another thing that happened during my run was I put my foot down a pothole, which I thought nothing of at the time. Like my knee got flung in sideways pretty badly, but there was just so much rain on the floor, it just looked like a puddle. And anyway, the next morning I wake up and just walking up and down the stairs was sore, and I thought, here we go. I'm just repeating London. I'm not going to make the start line. My hamstrings in bits. I was the same after Cardiff Half, where I wore the Pumas. My hamstrings were just really sore, and that's not a normal place to be sore. You don't tend to use your hamstrings that much. It's normally calves and quads.
I think it's the position it puts you in, the shoe.
Yeah. Yeah,
'Cause
I think it's the lack
I
of the heel and the fact that it's so
yeah,
aggressive. It's throwing you forward, and you haven't got that support. You're probably just stretching like the calves and the hamstrings a bit more,
my
loading them more.
hamstrings were
Yeah,
awful. I just did a 5K, that Safa 5K, and the hamstrings for the 2 days afterwards were like horrendous.
yeah. I
I
felt
remember.
Yeah, so I didn't run on the Saturday until 4 o'clock. I can't remember what we were doing. We had stuff on, and I knew I only had to do. I knew I only wanted to do 10K, 45 minutes. But I was sort of dreading it the whole day, thinking, "Am I even going to be able to run? Am I going to be doing a K and then just walking it in because my knees sore?" It wasn't like super sore. It's when you're feeling it without even running, but that makes you nervous, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And it was specifically the knee where I'd gone down of a pothole, as well as my calves and hamstrings, which were just in a state. Even just like jogging the cool down, I could feel my hamstrings and calves like really tightening up, especially on my left side. So I was pretty nervous and just like in a bad mood all day till I did this run and did 45 minutes. It was for me super slow, like 4:32 a K. But knee actually felt maybe a zero point 0.5 out of 10 pain at the end, but a lot better than I thought it was going to be. And I was sore, just like in general, like hamstrings, calves, but the knee seemed good. So I was a bit happy having done that. That was Saturday. Then Sunday was I do my medium long run. I'm calling it.
Medium long run.
So I knew I had to do at least 30K to get to 202, which was my arbitrary
Oh, here
target.
we go. Yes.
So I was hoping to do 20 miles, 32K to get to 204, which is basically match what I did last week, or maybe beat it by like 200 meters or something. But right from the start, I got up quite early for this because Jemima was training with her group. Oh no, she was going seeing her friends in Cardiff I think she needed to leave at 9, so I had to be back by 9. So got up, nearly slept through my alarm, but managed to get up. And the first bit is like the first half is basically all downhill, and I'm out the door. It's minus 22 meters of elevation in the first K, and I ran 4:24, and just felt like, oh dear, this is going to be a long old slog, a really long slog, because I was sore and just tired and couldn't really be bothered. So then just took off the pace and had just time, I think, up and just followed my loop. I was sort of making it up a little bit as I went along, but got home and it was 30.5K. I did have just about enough time to do the extra mile to get it up to 32K and be back by 9. But my knee was just starting to get a bit sore. For like the last 5K, I could just feel it like 1 out of 10. And this is where now I'm like, Dan, why would you go and do another mile? You're going to get
Yeah.
nothing out of that. It's just arbitrary ticking a box in your head. But yeah, you see that Strava curve. And then 202K versus 204K, it doesn't
No
matter.
difference. Do you ever like ask yourself like, what would I tell my athletes? I say that to myself so many times. Like, what would I tell my athletes? Like, don't make a stupid decision.
Yeah. I that was going through my head, and it's also the I know that if I talked through it here and I'd actually pushed on and then my knee had really deteriorated and I was a mile from home, I'd have been like, I'd be fuming, like, and just
me and Jen are sat here waiting
yeah.
for balance.
Yeah, exactly. That's more what what you guys are going to say versus like what would I say to my athletes, because it's easier to disassociate yourself when it's someone else, and obviously I'm invested in what they're doing, but because you are one step removed, it's so much easier to make those decisions and go, no, let's not get carried away. Like there's an obvious option here, we just do the obvious option, which is
Yeah.
do a bit less or play it safe. But so I did manage to talk myself out of doing the extra mile. But yeah, definitely at that point ruled out the Pumas, just left. I didn't feel it at all during that Friday session, but like the after effect just puts the doubts in my mind. Maybe it would be fine, or maybe I get another 5K in and then those symptoms start to play out in the race, and that's obviously not what you want. So I haven't quite decided what I'm wearing yet. I've got a bit of a strategy, which will play out next week and the following week, hopefully. But overall, like super happy. 202k, 13 hours, 38 minutes. And I think that Friday session is the best like session I've ever done. When you factor in the conditions were like absolutely awful.
Yeah. Like
I
we
was,
had
I was
the wind,
working, I was
but
working harder. Like my heart rate was going up more running these 318 a k than I was running the 306 a k, just being like battered sideways. So I took a lot of confidence in that, and they're feeling in a really good spot, really. With just 2 sessions to go.
oh,
Not long.
it really is squeaky bum time.
Nah, I'm looking forward to tapering. I'm looking forward to tapering.
It's like just not having to do so much running would be quite nice.
Yeah. I've also got myself a lab test fixed up for the Friday, whatever it is, 7-10 days out from a race. So I'm excited to do that. And I think I've managed to get a shoe economy test in as well to see which to help me refine my choices for shoes. I'm also going to compare a Joma shoe. What do you reckon to a Joma super shoe?
I'll hold judgment till you come back with the results.
Yeah, Joma versus Rays versus Pumas.
Shall I write down what order I think they'll perform in?
Before I share results with you, we'll have to we'll have to see what people think. I might throw a Metaspeed Edge in there as well. We'll see.
Oh, really mixing it up. I think I still think the Edge is the best super shoe I've ever run in.
Oh, I ran in them today, and they are good.
Yeah.
I've done a lot of training in them, and they're really good shoes.
Like even more than I think it's better than the Puma.
I see. I've got data to say it's not, but then I've run good sessions in both, and then it's like what is actually significantly different. They're very close.
You gotta
and if one of them's going to get you to the finish line, then that's the better shoe, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Yeah, there's no point picking the one where you'll be slightly ahead at 30k.
And then walking it in at 35.
Yeah. It's a shame because I think they could have if they just added a bit of a heel, it would have been like 20 grams heavier and it would have been a great shoe.
It's not what they were going for though, was it?
No. It's part of the selling point, I think, but it looks freaky.
Didn't they get like AI to create it?
Yeah.
Something like that. It was like, create us the lightest shoe.
They used a model, didn't they, to basically strip off anything that they didn't need. They put force sensors in the insole of a shoe and looked at where the carbon fiber plate was being stressed and where it wasn't being stressed, and stripped off bits that didn't need to be there and reinforced bits that did. And then the same with the foam, just going, right, you're not even landing on that point, no force is going through there, take it out,
just
make it lighter.
Yeah.
But I like the simplicity of in general, I just like the simplicity of a shoe, which is just a wedge of foam and a carbon fiber plate.
Yeah.
Why does it need to have chunks missing out of it?
So it's 5 grams lighter.
And whatever.
The bubbles
rods
that pop.
Yeah.
I think you should go for the Asics then. That's the simplest shoe.
I know. I've nearly made a decision. I'm ruling them out one by one. Puma's gone officially, but I would still want to see what the data's like when I compare. Because
that's going to make you change your mind again. Because the data says this, but my calves say something else.
Because then, for a 5k and a half marathon, I would still wear it.
Yeah,
I just wouldn't wear it for a marathon.
Make sure the Puma's the last one you wear, so you might get that feel.
Yeah. Anyway, we'll talk about that when we get there.
Yeah. We'll remind you of this. When we're recording 1.5 days before we leave.
Yeah. I still don't know what shoe I'm going to
wear. Nice. Good weeks. 3 to go.
Good weeks.
3 to go. There's only 1 week of training though, so.
Less than a week.
Yeah.
At the time of recording, less than a week.
One session. I've got one session.
One session to go.
Yeah. And it's going to go rubbish because we're all like, oh, one session to go.
Yeah,
And then all
literally,
of
like the
table ones will
mindset's
go.
flipped.
Yeah, but anyone else doing it, the last session never goes as well as you. Very like 10% of the time, it's the perfect session. 90% of the time, you're a bit underwhelmed and you think, "Oh, that's it. My marathon block's useless. I'm not fit at all. I'm going to have an awful run in my goal race." It just doesn't work like that.
It shouldn't. Like
So
you're not
expect it to
tapering.
be shit, and if it's not, that's nice. It's a
Bonus,
great
yeah.
surprise.
You're not tapering to feel good during that session. So
No.
Yeah, you're coming off like you're probably your highest week of training and intensity.
Yeah. But I am going to. I want to be able to get through it and hit the intensities I want to hit still, and I would prioritize that session over just getting in more mileage. So I think at this point I'm thinking, if in doubt, drop a bit of easy mileage if that's going to allow you to set yourself up for a better session. Just in terms of you want to be able to get through it. You don't want it to be able to, you're just too fatigued or you're not glycogen loaded enough to get through the session. And we're now so close that probably mileage is not going to be a big driver of adaptation at this point. So just get through it.
Because I've only got one this week. I've even pushed mine back a day just to give an extra day's recovery between Sunday and the last session as well. So now when it goes badly, it's going to be even more depressing, isn't it?
Yeah. I suppose so. That's how but you've got to give yourself a shot, haven't you?
Exactly. Got to try.
Yeah. You shouldn't. You don't want just to handicap yourself for
For no
just
reason.
to give yourself the excuses that it's going to go wrong when it goes wrong. Anyway, anything else to say? Hey, this is a short one. We've not got to an hour 50 yet.
People aren't going to know what to do when they're on their long runs now. They're going to be disappointed.
This wouldn't have got me through my my medium long run on Thursday.
yeah, sorry for letting people down. It's too short.
We'll try harder next week.
Yeah. Great to chat, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, good to
Catch
chat.
you all next week.
See you soon.
Guys.